Good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from Orchids and Garden in England, and what am I doing in the grow room at this moment in time? Well, I'm here to make a video to show Ynse of Orchids and ADD how I grow my Barkerias, or Barkerias. See this one? Now this is how you shouldn't grow them, Ynse, because they do like to be wet and dry, and during the last few months with the garden and everything else, repotting and just life in general, sometimes the orchids take a back seat. And I mean, when you look round, they're fine. It's just that I feel probably more guilty. Now these are ready to be watered. Now this one is a regular bloomer. There we are. Melanocaulon by Obsoa Ivory. It has some moss and it's broken down, but I haven't had time yet, so it just has to fend for itself, this one. And you have to be careful because they can be a little bit inclined to get spider mite. Okay, right, now where are my little scissors? Sorry about that. Okay, there. I'll cut that little bit off. Okay, so this is the most awkward thing to try and mount, because they just grow in their normal environment, just attached to a branch, and one assumes that they crawl along the branch, and then that's how they extend out. Can you see? There. And that's the trouble. Can you see how they extend out? So when they extend out, then they send a root. But if that root is nowhere near that branch, or in this case a piece of cork bark, then it struggles, you see, the ends die. But then you might think, well, you can't push that down because that's a hard base. You see what I mean? So, and then they send out these long canes, and if you're not careful, you're inclined to knock them. See, that's got a new leaf. And then you break them. These get treated like all the other mounts. They get more water in the winter because it's warmer in the grow room in the winter. And in the summer, I go from hot down to intermediate. So they just have to make do. Now these are due to be watered today, and I've got some water there, and you see, and I'll just throw that in. There. 172 parts per million, that, and that is the MSU. So, you know, will it go over? It doesn't matter. Right, now this hasn't bloomed yet, but I've lost one or two canes, and that's why I've had the dragon's blood. And you see how it's coming out the side, that tiny little green growth. Is it going to focus? Come on. There's a little tiny green growth there. You see, that end's finished, but it's sending another one just tucked in that corner there. This end, you see? And I've recently remounted this one on this shape, because what happens when they do flower, they send out an enormous inflorescence, and so it needs to cascade over. And hence my reason for putting it this way. It hangs on the wall behind me, but you see, if you're not careful, can you see where it gets spider mite? And that's probably because the erratic nature of me watering it. Now this is Barkeria Kathy. Can you see? But I mean, you know, they sink or swim here, and they get watered every 2 days. Now, well, you know, when it gets really warm, they should be watered every day. But then Keith says to me, well, they don't get rain every day in the where they grow, but maybe they do. You know, I'm not going to argue that. Right, this one. I don't know how this one's still with us, to tell you the truth. Oh dear. And Todd says this is quite, you know, a difficult one to get hold of. And at the moment we've got one little growth. We did have one last year. Can you see those roots? And that died out. See? And that one. And this is grown on a piece of silver birch. Oh, I keep seeing these dead roots now and I think, oh dear, I need to pull all these off. Right. This is dead easy to water. Whartoniana. Wharton. And there you go. Namesake. Todd. So, can you see? Hold on. Can you see how the roots are greening up? So these will, that's alright, that's turned on its side, so that's fine. This one, because it's on a flat mount, is more awkward. Let's see if we can tip it in that way. See whether it'll go in there. See if I can wedge it. That's alright. And there we are. There's the little one. And then you see these little roots here. I just have to either get one of my little watering things, or I just get a jug and throw some water over. Now, when this water's finished here, I should be, well, these orchids I mean, I should be putting the lindeyana in, and I should be putting the Tulumnia scandens in. So it's a video for Ynse, and good luck. I think they'll be fine. Treat them like you would any lady, and they'll be fine. Like I say, I get them through the winter months, and I get a little bit neglectful now because of all the work involved. Well, with orchids as well as the garden. So take care. Have a good Sunday. Bye bye now.